friends, and welcome back to Mr. Story Channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible stories ever told. A story about courage, fear, and faith that walks above the waves. This is the story of Peter and how he learned to keep his eyes on Jesus, not his fears. So, find a quiet place, take a deep breath, and let your heart sail with the wind of this story. It was a day everyone would remember. Thousands sat on a hillside, hungry and tired, until Jesus took 5 loaves and 2 fish, prayed, and fed them all. The disciples were amazed. The crowd cheered. But Jesus, calm and humble, smiled quietly and said, "Go on ahead of me. Take the boat to the other side." He stayed behind to pray, alone, as the sun dipped low across the lake. The disciples rowed away from shore. The lake shimmered under the fading sky. They talked about the miracle, still in awe of what they had seen. Peter said, "He fed thousands with just a little lunch. There's nothing he can't do." The others nodded, but far off, dark clouds began to gather. And soon, the calm lake began to stir. The wind howled. Waves crashed against the wooden boat. Rain fell in sheets, soaking the disciples as they struggled to row. "Hold on!" shouted James. "We're going to sink!" cried John. They were fishermen, used to storms, but this one was stronger, darker, and full of fear. Through the noise of thunder, they wondered, "Where is Jesus?" Just before dawn, when their hope was fading, they saw someone walking on the water. Their hearts froze. "It's a ghost!" shouted one of them. But a calm, familiar voice called out through the storm. "Take courage. It's me. Don't be afraid." It was Jesus, glowing softly in the stormlight, walking toward them like the sea was solid ground. Peter squinted through the rain and called out, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." And Jesus said, "Come." The boat rocked. The waves rose. But Peter's heart was full of faith. He stepped out, one foot, then the other, and he didn't sink. He was walking on water. But the moment Peter looked away from Jesus, when he saw the roaring waves and felt the icy wind, his faith wavered. Fear flooded his heart. He began to sink. "Lord, save me!" he cried. And instantly, Jesus reached out his hand, strong and sure, lifting Peter up from the deep. "Oh, Peter," Jesus said kindly, "why did you doubt?" As soon as Jesus and Peter climbed into the boat, the wind stopped. The water became calm and still as glass. The storm obeyed his voice, and peace returned to the lake. The disciples stared in wonder. "Truly, you are the Son of God." Their fear melted away, replaced by awe and faith. The first light of morning glowed on the horizon. The lake sparkled again. Birds began to sing. Peter sat beside Jesus, still speechless. He felt the warmth of the sun and the peace of being near his Savior. He realized something deep in his heart. Faith wasn't about being brave all the time. It was about trusting Jesus, even when afraid. Later that day, as they reached the shore, Peter looked back at the calm lake. He whispered to himself, "I walked on water only when my eyes were on him." He smiled softly, realizing the truth. When we focus on fear, we sink. When we focus on Jesus, we rise. And that truth would stay with Peter forever. Sometimes, life feels like that stormy night. Waves of worry crash around us, and fear whispers, you can't make it. But the voice of Jesus still calls, "Come, don't be afraid." No matter how strong the storm, he's always there, steady, loving, reaching out his hand. So keep your eyes on him, because with Jesus, even the impossible becomes possible. And that's the story of walking on water, a reminder that when faith looks up, fear falls away. Thank you for joining me here on Mr. Story Channel. If you loved this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful stories of hope and faith. Until next time, keep your heart steady and your eyes on Jesus.